Be honest with us. Did you kill your wife? I'm telling the truth. I didn't do it. Then how come there's a reminder that says, murder wife tomorrow? It does that? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness. And we're jumping over to Netflix for a little bit early of a documentary coming out next week. And it's true crime, deception, lies, whodunit, murder. And it's called An American Murder: The Family Next Door. Using raw first-hand footage, this documentary examines the disappearance of Shanann Watts and her children and the terrible events that follow. So is this Netflix true crime documentary a must-see twist and turn of a story that'll leave you speechless at the end? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know if you guys are aware of this American Murder docu-series or even the true life story behind it, and if you're very much looking forward to it. Now let's get into some of the good. So yes, this new documentary from Netflix, very much true crime, you know, kind of the big thing. I feel like every month or so they have one of these new stories, and this one tackles this woman and her husband and family. I believe her name is Shanann Watts, and then her husband Chris. And it is an intriguing setup from the get-go of this essentially missing person, a friend that is worried and she disappears. And honestly, this is set up almost as if it was Searching, the movie 2017, I believe, Searching with John Cho, mixed with Gone Girl, because it's very much taking kind of the network, the plot progression, essentially. Even though this is true life, this really did happen. It very much reminded me of Gone Girl, of the way things essentially played out and the way that media kind of handled things in these few days after her disappearance and leading up to essentially the resolution of this documentary. But then, like I said, the way that it takes this element or these elements from the movie Searching is that all of this is told via text messages, social media posts, videos, police cameras, with little bits of, you know, kind of they throw in some visuals of kind of over, you know, some drone footage and whatnot of buildings. But aside from that, probably 95% of this is told through just text messages and dialogue from other characters and stuff, which is fascinating that they were able to cobble together this cohesive through line to tell this essentially true drama, true crime story from beginning to end, even months before the backstories of these characters and kind of what had happened after the fact, which I thought was the highlight of this docu-series, or documentary rather, because they didn't have to go do testimonials with people. They had all of the footage already there, and it made such a great kind of through line. And like I said, this is structured in a way that is twists and turns and very much changes your perspective on who is responsible, what exactly happened to this Shanann Watts character, what exactly happened to her. Did she go missing? Did she die? You know, it does a great job of really messing with your perspective of being on one person's side to jumping to someone else's until essentially the very end of this. And I mean, they really toy with your perspective because they're taking text messages from between like the husband and his friends, or the wife and her friends, and then vice versa. And you can see how the perspective or the tone that someone talks to their husband versus their friend, you very much think that something odd is going on. So I love how they kind of played with the inside, almost inside someone's phone, their persona that they're hiding. It almost has kind of this glorified feel of like the first 48, if you've seen that show. It has bits and pieces of that, but I think that social media angle of piecing this all together was the spotlight or the standout for myself. However, this American crime documentary, I was on board for a lot of this. Believe me, I loved how they pieced it all together. I loved the pacing and whatnot, but I think once we got to the very end, maybe the third act, I guess, if you could call it that, even though this is a true story, this is essentially a true crime documentary, like I said. Once we got into the very last, like 20 minutes, third act, it feels like they just revealed everything. Like, here's my hand, that's it. It had great pacing leading up to that point. Like, honestly, in my mind, it's that climber in The Price is Right, and he gets up to the very top, and then it's just done. Like, we got to the end. Here's all the pieces. That's it. I was really hoping for kind of this big climax of even more twists and turns and kind of a reveal or two that we didn't really see coming, but unfortunately, it's not structured that way. The last bit, I think, takes away anything that was set up from the kind of framework and the way that they portrayed all of the perspectives. The pacing very much comes to a halt at the very end. Overall, this documentary, American Murder, is a fascinating look at true crime being told through essentially just social media. With it again being this interesting true crime story that very much has these twists and turns and told by a perspective that is very much intriguing because of all of the social media posts that they use together to tell this story. But with the third act, or I guess resolution, and kind of the pacing very much taken away from that luster of the beginning portions of this documentary, I'd recommend checking this one out. If you are a fan of true crime documentaries and an interesting kind of twist and turns of this husband and wife and kids and maybe some other things at play, this is an intriguing watch. Again, it's only an hour and 20 minutes, but unfortunately, it does not stick the landing. In closing, I'm going to give American Murder, The Family Next Door, 3 out of 5, the first 48s. So what did you guys think of American Murder, The Family Next Door? If you checked out this documentary of true crime nature and whatnot, or very much now looking forward to it because of kind of the intrigue I put here in this review, I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there or right over there, you know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. I'm not entirely sure what is coming this weekend, so stay tuned by all of my social media, by following all that down below. Like this video, subscribe to the JBuck Studios channel, and until next time, we'll see you later.